Let's take a look as Nicole was reporting as we have this wild run up here, better than 418 points. It just depends on the day and like the weather. Whatever you want, you can get at a given moment. Right now, the given moment is sort of a confluence of constructive events, including what's happening on the retail front. Again, JCPenney notwithstanding. And certainly what is happening right now on the trade front, the possibility that the Chinese officials come here, start talking Turkey, not Turkey the country, but getting something done on trade. Speaking of which, on Turkey, no progress there. That's a whole another disaster, but markets don't seem to care for the time being on that. All right, so Hudson Institute senior fellow Rebeccah Heinrichs. Rebeccah, always good having you. What do you make of, I guess it always depends on the day and the time and the catalyst for the markets, but optimism that when all is said and done, the core, the fundamentals for this market and for this economy are sound. People are shopping. When they're not shopping, when they're not busy buying stuff, generally you've got problems. We don't have problems there.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? I think that you said it best when you said there's a confluence of things happening, so it's complex. But certainly consumer confidence is high. And one of the things that I have been sort of watching is, with the tariffs going back and forth and a potential trade war brewing, I would want the president to kind of address the American people and let them know that consumers are going to feel the pinch at some point. But he has yet to really do that, and it's because they seem to not be really feeling that yet, that we haven't gotten to the point where the consumers are sort of dreading going in and actually participating in the market. So I think it's encouraging that the Chinese are willing to resume talks. It's not going to be at the cabinet level this time. I understand it's going to be sort of at the lower level, and maybe that'll get some things going better. But with the Chinese don't see things. They don't look for mutual benefit when they're dealing with the United States. They look at it as zero-sum game, and so that's always the concern when you're dealing with the Chinese.
Another thing, it depends on the drama in the event, but I noticed with the pivot on the part of the administration to get off Omarosa, I guess, I believe you have a point here if you'll indulge me, and to focus instead on punishing those who were saying all the things about the president on security-related issues. John Brennan gets his security clearance yanked, that it wasn't more of a market-moving event. And I wonder what that could mean. What do you think?
I don't know if there's a connection there. I mean, I think that I've been watching the security clearance sort of controversy. A month ago is when the administration announced that they were going to be reviewing some of these particular individuals. And it does seem to me, at least, that they're taking each of these individuals on a case-by-case basis. In the case of John Brennan, I mean, this is a guy who, First Amendment, you've got the right to express yourself. He's a private citizen. He can do that. But he was the former CIA director. He has called the president treasonous. And so when the president of the United States loses confidence in your ability to have judgment, and especially when you're saying things like that, the president of the United States has to trust that we can trust you with our national secrets. And if you lose trust in certain individuals, you're certainly not entitled to keep your security clearance.
So what interested me more about the whole dust-up over Brennan was the fact that, lo and behold, he has an editorial in today's New York Times in which he says unequivocally there was collusion going on. Now, he has hinted, charged, and kind of stammered over that in the past, and I'm not playing politics with this, but then to be so matter-of-fact about it, it fuels this argument that he might be taking advantage of stuff that he was privy to, or he's just out to get the president. The president was perfectly within his right to strip that security away.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, and that's part of the problem of a guy like him still retaining a security clearance, is when he's making these accusations, it's hard for the person who's reading the newspaper, listening to him talk on TV, to know, are you speaking as somebody who knows because you've seen intelligence, or are you sort of speculating like the rest of us based on bits and pieces of hearsay and what we're hearing coming out of the congressional investigation? And because those lines are blurred, it makes sense that he shouldn't be abusing this clout and this reputation that he has as somebody who's in the know if he doesn't really know. And clearly it's bothering the president. He sees it's doing great harm to some of his agenda, what he's trying to do, having this the constant Russia investigation go on. And in this case, Brennan is not helping the situation, and so it cost him his clearance.
I'm wondering if other proverbial shoes drop.
Maybe. I don't like the idea of having clearances pulled because of just the heated political environment that we're in. But you do have an enormous responsibility. If you've been cleared to have a security clearance, that means that you have demonstrated great judgment, comparatively, and sound judgment, great trust, patriotism, all of these things, and nonpartisanship. Doesn't mean you don't have your own personal positions on different things, but that you're putting country before partisanship. And when you're out there constantly using this highly hyperbole partisan rhetoric, then, I'm looking at Clapper, for instance. And Clapper's somebody who's lied. He's lied to Congress. Brennan has lied to the public. So there's other things, too, that would cause the president to mistrust them.
All right, it's always great having you, Rebeccah. I always learn a lot, and it takes a lot for me to learn something. Rebeccah, good seeing you again. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, Neil.